Hello, my name is Dr. Chris Knutson, and I want to welcome you today to the first unit in CJ 301 Intercultural Communication. So this first unit is going to take us about a week to complete, and during this unit we're going to talk about foundational information concerning intercultural communication and intercultural interaction. So throughout the week we're going to talk about concepts like invitational rhetoric and the dialectical perspective. And what both of these things are going to do, they're what we're going to focus on today, but they both help us to understand how we might have to change our communication if we want to become stronger intercultural communicators. So there's certain ways we learn throughout our lives that we can communicate with other people if we want to be successful, so if we want to have effective communication. So what the invitational perspective and looking at things through a dialectical perspective show us is that sometimes we're going to have different strategies when we engage in intercultural interactions with other people. Then on Wednesday, we're going to look at just basic definitions that are going to be important to us throughout the semester. So we're going to define communication, we're going to define culture, we're going to define power, and we're going to define context. As power and context are two concepts that are very important to us understanding how intercultural communication processes happen, as well as how we can understand those contexts in which intercultural relationships are created and developed. Then on Thursday, we're going to talk about history and how our cultural backgrounds or our beliefs, our worldviews might shape the way we look at the events that occur to us. And so what we can see happening, because people have such different cultural backgrounds, is that people might look at the same event and see that event in vastly different ways. So we're going to focus on that, like I said, on Thursday, and that lesson really provides us with the groundwork towards our first paper in the course. So the first paper is a paper that's going to ask you to look at two competing histories and try and understand why the individuals from both those groups might have seen the same event in such different lights. So that's more or less what we're going to focus on this first week. By this time next week, you'll have turned in your first paper and we'll be moving on to talking about intercultural processes. But I do want to remind you that if you have any questions for me throughout this week or in the weeks to follow, please feel free to get in touch with me and I'll try and answer your questions as best as I can. I've put both the Q&A board on D2L as well as a D2L forum concerning questions you might have about the lecture videos that you see. So if there's concepts that you need explained better, I'm going to put those on D2L so that if you happen to ask a question of me and I respond, it's something that your classmates can access as well. So I will be checking that. I also want to remind you that I am on my computer working on this course between 1 and 3, Monday through Friday. So if you have questions for me, you might want to make sure you get those in before 3 p.m. and I'll get back to you right away if that's the case. Otherwise, I will check my email throughout the evening and try and get back to you all as soon as possible, but you're guaranteed a quick response if you get in touch with me during those times. I also log into the chat function on D2L, so if you contact me during those hours, I will be able to chat with you if you want to chat that way. So let me know if you have any questions, and I hope you enjoy learning more about the foundation of intercultural communication.